Hello YouTube, this is Thompson737 bringing you another video in pretty quick succession in the last week or so. I just thought I'd sort of finish where I left off from the video I just done. I appreciate all the responses, the likes, the comments, and even everybody that's just clicked on the video really. Really appreciated. Because it pushes you to do more content. So again, you would have seen a couple of these models in the last video. So I'm gonna basically go through it as like an update. There's a few other models that I feature added as well. In terms of the updates in 1500, I'm not actually going to go with doing like destinations and all that. I just haven't thought about that. At the minute I'm working on my 1400 schedules as well for the upcoming airport, so all that's sort of on my mind, and it'll just get confusing, but generally speaking I think you'll have an idea where the aircraft will be flying to or coming from. So basically I'm just going to read out basically the aircraft and the registration and give a bit of background as to when I acquired the model and how long it's been in my 1500 collection and all that sort of thing. You'll get the idea as we progress with the update. Also, my camcorder is on a tripod at the minute, and at previous updates I've used my phone basically because it's just simple, easy, just press record, yeah, handheld, straightforward. But I thought I'd give this a go because I think while I'm talking you can sort of see a scene on a particular aircraft or an overview shot like now, and give you an idea as to what's happening with the models and the traffic basically. So while I'm talking the camera's stabilised. I don't really need to worry about it sort of wobbling about or moving about, and you can just sort of see a particular scene as a still piece of footage. So hopefully you enjoy this sort of method. Again, by all means leave your thoughts in the comments to tell me what you think. And again, if you've got any questions about the layout, anything about 1500, then by all means ask. I don't mind at all. I may also drop some sort of still images towards the end of the video at different angles that you might not see in the video to give you a better understanding, either with the camcorder or my DSLR camera afterwards, because I will be taking pictures, uploading them to my Instagram page and my Facebook page and forums later on. So let's get into it. So the first model, we'll start on the far side. So we'll start with this one. Jet Airfly 737-700, registration Oscar Juliet Alpha Romeo. I've had this model for quite some time now. When I initially did this airport, this was part of the large batch of models that I bought. I do also have a Jet Airfly 767-300. This particular model I think is Herpa, I believe so, but the 767 is from Sky 500. Herpa, as you can imagine, are the leading manufacturer in 1500, whereas 1400 you've got quite a diverse. You've got quite a few manufacturers. You've got Gemini Jets and Phoenix, which are probably leading the way. NG models have come about now, probably another one that's leading the way. Then you've got the likes of Aero Classics. I don't order a lot of models from Aero Classics because it's in the name. Usually they are classic aircraft, but in 1500 Herpa is the main one, certainly for regular releases, as far as I can see it. So next up we've got this Norwegian 737-800, which is registration Lima November Delta Uniform Charlie. I'm not quite sure who's on the tail actually. Maybe I should have looked at that beforehand, but I'm sure if you search the registration you'll find that out. Next up, if we just sort of zoom out a little bit, we've got this British Airways A320 As you can see, it's got the sharklets. Registration is Golf Echo Uniform Yankee Uniform. Another thing to note as well, accessories, everything on this airport is to scale. Everything is 1/500. The only exception there might be potentially is the build. Obviously, the airport buildings, they're custom made, so you could potentially use them for 1/400 or 1/500. I won't be reusing them because when the 1/400 project comes up, it probably will change. I probably will need to do a new terminal. Either the shape probably be similar, but the dimensions probably will need to be changed slightly. I've also got a hanger which I'll show you, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. We've got this Nikkei A321 taxiing past, registration Oscar Echo Lima Echo Tango. I've always liked this livery from Nikkei. Don't see it nowadays, I don't believe. No, I don't think so anyway. I've not really seen a lot of these in person in real life, but I just think the delivery was pretty unique, and I have vague memories of it at Palma in Mallorca. So we'll head over now to the other side. This is like the wide body stands. So I've got Lufthansa A321, sorry, Lufthansa A340-600, sorry. I've actually got two of these, both different registrations. This one in particular is Delta Alpha India Hotel Foxtrot. I've recently had a major interest in more long-haul aircraft in both scales. So in 1/400 you'll see a lot more sort of aircraft. Certainly new releases, and the A340-600 has really caught my attention lately. I don't know, I've always liked the A340. I don't mind A340-300s, but I do find them a little too short for the type. And the 600, well, I just think it looks great, you know, 4 engines and one single sort of cabin line, if you like, so there's no like top deck. It's just, I think it's pretty unique aircraft to have 4 engines and everything like that. On pushback, we have this Lufthansa 747-400. This registration is Delta Alpha Bravo Victor Foxtrot. As you can see on pushback. And once again, these tugs are 1/500. I've also got some 1/400 ones ready for the 1/400 project when that comes about. Zoom out slightly, I think. We've got this Lufthansa A380. Registration of this is Delta Alpha India Mike November. I've had this model quite a while. The A340, Lufthansa A340 and 747 that you've just seen, both recently acquired, but the A380 I've had for some time now. So it's great to have the other two and the other A340-600 actually, all recently acquired, so it's good to have a fleet build, if you like, of Lufthansa, because this airport is generally German based. I don't know if you can tell by the markings, but generally it was sort of the markings and everything, the colours, the actual layout was primarily based on airports from Germany. So I just generally I think you get the idea with like the red and white markings of the stands, layouts and everything like that, and the blue sort of markings for the stand numbers and stuff. You get the idea. Next up we have this very unique liveried aircraft. You might recognise it. The registration of this is Papa 4 Mike Echo Sierra. This aircraft is Global Jet Luxembourg 767-300, and you may also, if you recognise it, you'll probably know it's most commonly used for Roman Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea Football Club. This is what I love about 1/500. You get unique aircraft like this. I think for me, The only model in 1400 that I find sort of special, that's got special livery as like a private aircraft, is a Phoenix Saudi MD-11. If I think the registration is Hotel Zulu Alpha Foxtrot Alpha Sierra, I think that's the registration. But for 1500, for Herpa to create models like this is absolutely brilliant, to be quite honest. Very unique livery, very stylish looking aircraft. I'll probably give you a better shot if I take pictures as well. As you can see, a couple of 1500 sort of executive cars, if you like. You got the limousine sort of type car, and then the Jeeps. Just waiting for a bit of an escort outside the airport. Moving on. On the far side, taxiing in, we have this Transavia 737-700. Registration is Papa Hotel X-Ray Romeo Bravo. Another model I've had for quite some time now, actually, to be quite honest. Do also have obviously Transavia in 1400. I prefer this livery, if I'm totally honest. The new livery, sorry, I find it quite sort of dull. I just think the colours are just dull. This isn't the most unique livery you've ever seen, but I just think with the colours of the stripes and the tail logo, it's just got that splash of colour. And yeah, I do prefer it to the new livery. I have considered getting the new livery in 1400, but just doesn't do it for me at the minute. Moving on, got this aircraft, which is a fantastic model, to be quite honest. This is probably the latest model I've got in 1500 very recently. I got it from, to be quite honest, overseas, I think, somewhere, along with the Lufthansa 747-400 and A340, I think. I've not done anything to this model. As you can see, it's got the door open at the front, loading bay. Absolutely fantastic in 1500 that they've actually got models like this. You could say, it's something I've always thought, why, if they can do it in 1500, why has it never been done in 1400? I think one thing that's coming about a lot more in 1400 is the flaps down configuration. I haven't actually got a model yet that's got flaps down configuration, but I'm definitely considering it. Certainly if you've got two models, where one hasn't, same registration, if you've got one that has got flaps down and one that hasn't, that's pretty good, because you can use one on stand and one sort of coming in on the runway or taxiing out, or you know, taking off sort of thing. So very unique. The loading device, the loading what do you call it? My mind's just gone blank. But the white loading device vehicle, it comes with the model itself. So very good that they've included that as well. All the other GSEs, just general Herpa GSE, which you can find, I think still available. I know obviously World Airways don't fly anymore, but again, this is what I mean about 1500. I will literally just throw anything together. It doesn't matter if it's flying anymore. I'm just going to just throw it all in there, because this is my creative side. It's like a dream fantasy world. Whereas, like I say, 1400 is going to be more realistic when it comes to doing updates, which you'll find out. But we may go back in time as well. Don't get me wrong, we may go back in time to do that. We've also got this hanger here. Let me just move the camera slightly, just so you can so you can see it a bit better. So we've got a couple of biz jets parked outside. The doors are currently shut, so there's nothing really to see such inside. This was done by a guy on Instagram, UK Aviation Photos, so if you want to check him out, by all means do. His airports are absolutely staggering. The amount of detail he features is unbelievable, I have to say. Just crazy. But yeah, he did this for me. I bought it off him. Fantastic build. Any building he does, it's just, honestly, I could buy all sorts from him. But I'm very happy to have this building. He's done a fantastic job. So by all means, check him out. The BizJets, obviously, again, part of the Herpa accessories. They're not 3D printed, they're pre-made from Herpa, and that's what I love about Herpa. I think Herpa really were, or if not still to this day, the leading manufacturer in model airports, because fair enough, Gemini Jets have done several airports now, done a couple or a few, but the amount of accessories Herpa have done for their, you know, they've done foils, they've done accessories, air stairs, they've done everything you can imagine. Even security fencing and walls and stuff like that, and construction vehicles. It's just crazy, the list goes on. And it's just, it really is crazy how much they've done for the 1/500 scale. I think 1/500 is a lot better nowadays as well. Now they've got scale gear, they've got new generation gear. A lot of the old models have very chunky gear, which probably would put anybody off really. I think that's why maybe 1/400 sort of picked up a lot more than 1/500 maybe. But 1/500 is definitely there. It's definitely expensive to be collecting both 1/500 and 1/400, but generally speaking, I don't collect both as such. Since getting this airport back out, I did buy quite a few models, like the Lufthansa models and the World Airways Cargo MD-11. But that's just the way it goes. From now on, probably my main focus will be 1/400, to be quite honest. But I'll see. But there are a few models in 1/500 that I'm still looking for. So if I do acquire any more, I'll try and feature them in updates and just let you know that it's recently arrived, sort of thing. Just a point I've just realised, the registration for the World Airways MD-11, in case you didn't know, is November 279 Whiskey Alpha. Just wanted to put that out there because I don't think I mentioned it. But that's pretty much it for this update. You know, 18 minutes or so already. I think that pretty much. I think hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you like the style of the video in terms of using my camcorder. And again, please leave your likes and your comments. You know, I really do appreciate it. Next update, I'm not sure when that'll be. I'm thinking maybe do an update every maybe every sort of 2 weeks or so as a rough idea. If by all means, if you think it should be a bit longer, every 3 weeks or once a month, please leave your comments and you know, just tell me what you think, how often updates should be, or how often you would like an update. But I'm going to say about every 2 weeks, certainly for this airport, because the rotation is quite sort of big. Because like I said, I take pictures as well and all that. So do stay tuned, and I'll upload the next video in due course. Thanks for now, and like I say, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.